first up, just talk us through the cramp you experienced on day one and how you managed to work through that.
I had a bit of cramp in my whole body, to be honest, but more in my hands and my forearm, which was obviously important when you're batting. But I was able to get as many fluids as I can from Doc and Sizwe, and the guys on the side were really helpful. Whenever I called for them, they were out onto the field pretty quickly, so that helped. And obviously batting with Stubbo helped me take my mind off things and just get through it.
What does it take to bat 4 periods of time like that, and how much of it is a mental element?
Yeah, I'd say most of it is a mental element, probably 80-90% of it, because once you're in, it becomes pretty much just your decision making and your ability to stay focused and stay in your game plan and identifying what's working on the wicket against certain bowlers, and then just sticking to it, not going too much outside of that, because you don't need to in this format. So it's definitely 100% mental and obviously physical. As you saw, you have to be physically fit enough to be able to do it and be able to concentrate for long periods of time, be able to switch on and switch off. So yeah, I'd say to do it for a long time, you've got to be 100% present as much as you can and focused.
And then lastly, before we open up to the floor, South African batters have found things tough away from home over the last while. Is this changing, or is it just that the conditions allowed the batters to play this way?
Look, my time in the test side, I think we've done all right away from home. I think my first away series was West Indies, and guys did relatively well. We were quite successful there as a young batting lineup, and even here it's pretty much the same team. And Scholesy was brilliant, and Wiaan in the first test, and we all pretty much showed that we could apply ourselves away from home and find different ways of scoring. So I wouldn't say we've struggled away from home too much. We're obviously quite young and we've had to learn and adapt quickly on the job. And I think with our senior batters like aides and stuff like that, and having KG speaking to them, and then our coaching staff allows us to pick up information pretty quickly and try our best to implement it.
Thanks.
Georgie, congratulations for your 100.
Thank you.
Must be disappointed for missing out your double 100.
Yeah, definitely. The opportunity was there. There's not often that you have a time in test cricket nowadays where you can bat in one tempo for as long as possible. So yeah, definitely the opportunity was there for me to get a double, maybe even more. But ultimately it wasn't about me today. Big man upstairs wanted to give another opportunity to someone else, and Wiaan and Sen came and took that. So I'm happy for them.
Well played today and yesterday as well.
Thanks.
In scoring that 177, you've become only the second player of Black African heritage to play for South Africa to score 100. What significance is that for you, and also what significance do you think that has for the next generation?
I haven't really thought about it too much. To be honest, the guy who did it before me is a leader in our change room, so we look up to him, and we've seen him do it before, so it gave us the confidence to do it. I don't think any of the guys that come into the change room see themselves as a Black African first and then play cricket. I think they just play cricket and try their best to portray themselves as best as they can. In terms of what it does for other guys back home, the youngsters I've played with, whatever skin colour they are, they believe in themselves, and I think the next batch of young cricketers in SA are willing and ready to take up the mantle, obviously with respect to all the guys that have come before us. So I don't really think any of them see themselves as less or more than. I think they're all just waiting for an opportunity and believe that they can take it.
Tony, 3 of you got your maiden hundreds in this test match. Years from now you'll look back to this test match in particular, because you and Stumpsy and Mulder got the hundreds. Is this the start of a South African journey with so many of you new to the test arena? Is this something of a kick-off point for the teams batting from a batting perspective?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, it probably started already with Shukri against India. That was a tough series against a really good side, and there was a young team as well, and guys put their hands up in different situations. So I think it's just been building on that. And yeah, I think you say there's a few young guys, but I think a lot of them, Stubbsy as well, played around the world. So guys are coming with different types of experiences, might not necessarily be age, but all pretty mature and clever about how they go about things. And Wiaan's been playing for a while, so I think we all just, maybe not 30, 40 years old, but we have our own experiences which allow us to perform.
So if we talk about this stadium, or this ground in Chattogram, or Chattogram in general, South African batters have done well also getting big innings, and then Jacques Rudolph as well in his debut test. And now the three of you, what's it about? Like, why is it always in Chattogram that South African batters are doing so well in tests?
I won't have a specific answer. Obviously, it's just maybe just a good ground for the guys. Maybe feel comfortable. The wicket is a little bit more suited to our type of batting. I think it is one of those wickets where if you get in, then you can dominate or bat with your same template. The conditions don't change too much. Obviously, Rana came with short ball stuff, so guys can come with different plans, but the wicket allows you to keep it kind of simple. And then obviously the two guys you mentioned up front, Graham and Neil Mack, were Kes boys, so they taught that to me at school, because I went to the same school, that's a joke. And we just kind of built on that.
The thing is, I was surprised with the kind of batting performance Bangladesh did in the last half an hour of the game, because they lost 4 wickets. Did you have planned to take, like when you were coming to the field, did you have any idea that you are going to take 4 wickets at the end of the day?
I think when you go on and you make the declaration, you want to get 10, but I think Aiden and Shukri obviously felt it was the right time for the team to declare. And as I've said before, when you've got KG in your bowling lineup, anything can happen for you. So we're lucky to have him, and I think Pato showed a bit of discipline as well and eventually got the wicket. So for us, I think it was obviously tired legs. We've dragged the game out, and I think if I was an opener in that situation, it's not a nice time to come and bat. So anything can happen, tired minds, tired bodies, and I think ultimately we were just right place, right time, and we made good decisions.
Just in terms of the timing of the declaration, there was lots of talk about it on the broadcast on TV, for example. I'm sure there was discussion about it in the dressing room. Was obviously Mulder was approaching his 100. Was he given a time limit or a number of overs to get to that?
Yeah, there was a bit of time because we still wanted to bowl before obviously the light dropped, but he was edging closer and closer. I think if he was further away, somewhere similar to Sen's score, then maybe we would have pulled him earlier, but he was so close, had batted so well, and because of the time we'd built in the game going at almost 4s, we'd obviously afforded the right to let him have that special moment, and I'm glad he got over the line. But exactly when they were going to do it and how is above my pay grade. That's Aiden and Shukri.